It is amazing the difference of what one showrunner and writer can do for a show, because season 1 and season 2 of Star Trek Picard is arguably some of the worst Star Trek we've ever gotten, and that's taken in account of Discovery. But to do the 180 that season 3 did here with this show is utterly amazing. Spoilers are ahead if you have not watched season 3 and you want to watch it for yourself. I will spoil some things, and if you're looking for a episode by episode in-depth review, this is not the place for you. I'm just going to kind of give my entire thoughts on the series as a whole, the season as a whole, and kind of where it leaves the TNG crew and just how awesome it was. All right. So going into Picard season 3, I had zero faith in it at all. I was just glad that it was finally ending, to be completely honest, because I hated the first 2 seasons so much, like a lot of Star Trek fans did, because it just wasn't Star Trek. It wasn't our Captain Picard. It wasn't a lot of our characters. It just wasn't right. But in comes Terry Matalas, honestly the savior of Star Trek at this point, to be the showrunner and head writer for season 3. And Alex Kurtzman, who's kind of the Star Trek overlord, didn't have anything to do with season 3 Picard. So Terry Matalas took the reins of it and just ran with it and made the best piece of Star Trek we've gotten since 2005. Don't get me wrong, I like Strange New Worlds. That's a really fun show, but this is without a doubt the best Trek we've gotten since 05. I know I've seen Matalas in interviews say that this is pretty much a 10-hour movie to send off the TNG cast, and that's exactly what this is. This is the ending that the TNG crew deserves and needed after all these years. Yes, All Good Things back in 1994 was an utterly epic finale, still probably the best finale to any TV show I've ever seen. But when you bring them back to do the movies, you still need to have a good conclusion there, and we didn't get that with Nemesis. And you fast forward to Picard season 3, this is truly the ending that we've all wanted for all these years. This is what Picard should have been from the very beginning. It should have been the whole TNG crew coming back together. The vanity project of the first 2 seasons with all the weird added characters just didn't work. It flopped. No one liked it. Everyone hated it. And there's not really any positive things I can say about season 1 or 2. I think everyone from the TNG crew that was in season 3 elevated the characters that spilled over from the first 2 seasons. I think Rafi became a decent character due to her being paired with Worf. She definitely wasn't as insufferable this season. She even bordered on not bad, which that is a vast improvement from the first 2 seasons where I could not stand that character. And of course, Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9. She probably was one of the best parts of the first 2 seasons, even though I thought she wasn't utilized correctly. In the first 2 seasons, her character just did not feel like 7 of 9 at all. But here in season 3, there's times that she at least feels like 7 of 9, and an actual progression of the character that you kind of assumed she was going to have throughout all these years. We finally get to see that in season 3. And just seeing everyone back together was truly amazing. It is something special that everyone wanted. And I mean, realistically, this is probably the last outing for all of them being together. And for them to be together 35 years later, it's seriously special. It really is, because we're running out of properties and things to do this with, because the first one I think that really tried to do it again was Star Wars, and they completely dropped the ball on that. In Force Awakens, there wasn't even a scene with Han, Luke, and Leia together, but at least Star Trek internalized that and understood what needed to be done, and they did it in time. They got all of the main characters from the Next Generation back together on the bridge of the Enterprise D. How cool and special is that? I mean, truly, how special after all these years to have the characters still around, have the real people still be around and willing to do it. It's just really, really special to see. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. The overall season was, again, the best Star Trek I've seen in years. It was strong from start to finish. At the end, it was utterly awesome. It truly was. Yeah, there was maybe 2 episodes in there that were a little slow, but it didn't bother me any. Even a slow episode with the entire TNG crew together is a all-star episode compared to anything of the first 2 seasons of Picard or anything Discovery has done. That's how great these characters, these actors, the writing, the set designs, the yada 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 are here in season 3 of Picard. And this isn't just a complete reunion tour. I mean, yes, that's a part of it, which is awesome to see. A lot of fan service, but it's done right and done well. It's not pandering. But the characters that are in this season that we know and love actually do grow. They actually do grow as characters. For instance, Riker goes on his own personal journey, dealing with the grief of his son dying. Geordi dealing with his 2 daughters being in Starfleet and how he could potentially lose them. Obviously, Crusher Crusher and Picard are going through a lot of stuff with Jack and all the stuff that he's going through. Picard learning that he has a son after all these years. Counselor Troy dealing with her own grief, with Riker's grief and being a mother. Worf becoming a Zen master, but being the ultimate badass warrior still. Just awesome. And then them bringing back Data in a new form is just the icing on the cake. I'm so glad they brought back Data. Like I said, this is not a beat for beat breakdown of the season. It's just my off the cuff ramblings of just how awesome the season was. I never thought I would see another good season of Star Trek again, and I'm really hoping that the fans keep saying that there needs to be a Star Trek Legacy show with Seven of Nine and Jack Crusher. I do think the fans want to see that, and I think they can do a lot of different things with the Legacy characters still, like the younger ish Legacy characters like the Seven of Nines and so forth. The TNG crew are retired completely. That's okay with me. If we never see the TNG crew again, I am more than satisfied. The only thing that would have made the finale even better is something that the Dave Cullen show brought up. He had the idea that the Enterprise D should have been put back into commission due to them losing so many ships, and some admiral of some sort pretty much is standing there on the bridge with the Enterprise D talking to Riker saying, hey, you know, do you want to be the captain of the Enterprise D? Pretty much he can sit in the captain's chair and he can just kind of give a smile, or you can say, yeah, I butchered that, I'm sure, but pretty much putting the Enterprise D back in commission, having Riker be the captain, and that would just make for an awesome short series of some sort if you wanted to do that. 8 to 12 episodes with Riker being the captain of Enterprise D. I mean, who would not want to watch that? That would be pretty special. But like I said, if we get none of the TNG characters again in live action, I'm not going to be mad. I think this was a beautiful send-off, and I truly did enjoy season 3 of Picard. I never thought I would say that due to how bad the first 2 seasons were, but this was a special moment in Trek history, and I definitely would recommend anyone binging TNG to watch the movies and watch season 3 of Picard, because this is the definitive ending as of right now for these awesome characters. I think that pretty much wraps up my ramblings on this one. I'm really curious where everything's going to go from here in Star Trek. I'm hoping Alex Kurtzman, the overlord of Star Trek, sees that, hey, this is how you do successful Star Trek, and he starts incorporating the right people in the right positions to make Star Trek like this, and not like Discovery or the first 2 seasons of Picard, because this is how you do good Star Trek. Season 3 of Picard is good Star Trek. Strange New Worlds is good Star Trek. These are the things we want to see. These are the stories we want to be told. These are how characters are developed without having nonsense shoved down our throat. So here's to hoping that we see more good Star Trek to come in the coming years, but we shall see. I think season 3 of Picard is going to be more of the exception, not the rule going forward. So with that said, what are your thoughts on Picard season 3? Was this the best send-off that the TNG crew could have had? Let me know down in the comment section below. And while you're down there, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Until next time, guys, everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching.